move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. Till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have...
What's up? What's up, everybody? How's it going? We already seen some freaking all-stars in the chat. I am stoked. Should I turn this down just a little bit more. I love this song. I'm just playing this song on repeat a lot. I'm just going to keep doing it. Well, welcome everybody to the, what are we calling this? Bantor with Antor? Welcome everybody to Bantor with Antor. I'm Coach Antor, and we've got some cool stuff to talk about today, right? Some cool stuff happened. Gonna lean on a lot of audience / viewer participation this week. Mainly because I did not go to CECC, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup, which was hosted by CSMG, and sponsored by a ton of big names, ran on the back end by some really cool people, and a lot of cool schools went. So, yeah, I'm going to need some help from some folks who were there. I know Bird was there for sure. Warhood says, today was graduation at my school, and I had to read names for the graduation, so I'm heading to the bar to drink. You deserve that. Every time I'm at a graduation, I'm like, that is one job I do not ever want to have. That is, woof, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot to be in charge of. Mega was not there either. Saw some of the footage. Was cool to see UCF go far. Yes. USF also had at least one team there, which was cool. Bird says it was a blast event. That's good. Shout out to the couple follows I had over the last week. I think some of these happened during the stream last week. Zeta Mental, I don't think I shout out Zeta Mental, who helps coach a couple different teams in Collegiate, one of them being St. Clair, I believe. Thank you for that follow. Ricochet finally following. Thank you, Coach Ricochet. Feel like I should have gotten that follow a little earlier, but it's fine. Penny Cash and We Spect Me, which are both, I think, bots, but maybe not. Thanks for the follows. Appreciate you guys. UCF did great in RL. Yes, they did. They did really well in RL. Didn't they finish second? Was it UCF that finished second? Maybe. I should probably pull up the results. Where do you think I could even find the results? Finals was UCF Northwood. Yeah. All right. So I was right. Nice. UCF finished second. That was pretty dope. I watched it. I just couldn't remember if they were the second place or not. I think, did they post like a tweet with all the winners on one slide? Not looking like on this Twitter they did. That's kind of depressing. Gonna make my job a little more difficult. Esports, you might have it. We're just chilling here, giving a couple minutes to the people who are running late. It was across multiple tweets, yeah, which is so sad because on the live broadcast they had one graphic, I believe, that had them all, and I wish they just had a tweet with all of them in one place. One day I'll do a backstory on Esports U, because they're a company I know very little about. That I need to do some research on, so doing them would be probably a good topic. Schedule and rules. Live brackets. Oh, they have it in a nice Excel sheet. Sweet. So let's run over some of these results. Congratulate some of these teams. Super Smash Brothers. The finals was Bay State against Central Florida. Bay State coming up on top. Bay State's doing really well in Smash Bros. Congrats to those players. Congrats to Coach Aaron and Coach Hummel for the success on that. That was pretty awesome. They've been dominating Smash across the board. Overwatch was Illinois State against Harrisburg. Illinois State winning, taking that trophy, scholarship money home. Congrats to Illinois State. That's pretty good. We'll just leave it there. Rocket League, UCF, as we mentioned, UCF getting another second place finish, this time in Rocket League. Northwood picking up the dub. Congrats to Cody and company, his players. Huge dub there. And then the final one was Valorant with San Jose State against Northwood. San Jose State has been kind of the favorites in Collegiate Valorant for a while. But Northwood was looking good. San Jose coming out on top. Bird says Bay State was good, but 1=2 had his team on his back. Bay State just held out longer. Fair. It's a far trip for San Jose. It is a far trip. And I don't even know if they're a varsity team. Like, who paid for that? I wonder if their school paid for that or not. That'd be interesting. But huge congrats there. Blazekin says your brother's good friends with their VP. All right. Well, maybe. I'm assuming the school paid for it, or they got some of that money paid for, or that trip paid for. It's a cool opportunity. And they walk away with some prize money. Which, I mean, the prize money really wasn't communicated until, like, that weekend, wasn't it? I just saw a tweet somewhere that had it. Yeah, prize pools. Winners got $3,000. Second place got $2,000. Third place $500, and then the MVP got $1,000. I'm assuming the $3,000 is for the team. So, Rocket League, that would mean like a split of $1,000 per player. But if you look at like Overwatch, it's gonna be $500. Bird says they paid for theirs, so Kennesaw paid for theirs. We were out of money for the year. Dang. With it. You think San Jose is a club with some backing? Okay. Jay Smith had no idea they were doing prizes till they tweeted that tweet. I think somewhere they might have communicated that they were doing prizing, but no one knew how much it was. So let's talk a little bit about the CEC feedback or CECC feedback. There are so many freaking C's. If you guys watch the selection show, first shout out to Paul, Hypey Paul, Paul Hypey, Paul Hype, Hypety Paul, Hip Hop. Phenomenal job, Paulie Hype. But the selection show he ran, and there's so many C's and acronyms because ECAC was a part of it, getting seeds. NECC was getting seeds, and then you got this event which is called the CECC. So it was like the CECC, ECAC seed for the CECC, and the NECC seed for the CECC. It was a lot. I'm kind of sick of all these acronyms and all the C's. But shout out to Paulie Hype. I think he did a good job with his co-host as well. Shout out to both of them. They definitely brought the hype. This is for sure. Yeah. So for those of you who went to the event, give me your thoughts. Give me some of your thoughts. Let's go through it. I think overall, like what it looks like, and the most of the feedback I've gotten was it was a generally positive experience. Really awesome event for most players, most coaches. Definitely room for improvement in some areas. I would love to shout out Chris Postel and the squad over at Vanguard. They do a lot of the back scene on these events, running things, admin related, broadcast, whatever it is. I don't know exactly where kind of their responsibilities end, but they do a phenomenal job. And without them, I don't think this event would be nearly as a positive experience for most players. So shout out to them. But overall, I think it looked pretty positive. I think some people had some constructive criticism or just straight anger towards some of the things that they did. I think those are things that should be noted. Look at growing, look at changing in the future. But with every event, especially in esports for its first year, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be things that are overlooked. kind of missed the mark in some regards. I think one of them was scheduling. It sounded like some of the teams didn't get the actual true bracket and schedule until like a day or two before, and they were going off of brackets that were given to them before that were outdated, which sucks for those teams. I know Smash was for a lot of people, Smash was a sore subject. And Smash is one of those communities that's not very forgiving when it comes to if it's somebody not in the Smash community running the event, because some small things that should always be like a necessity or a need aren't met. Jay Smith says, my only comment is more of a heads up around qualifiers. We didn't even learn about it until after they had hosted our regional. And then the regional hadn't been played. Yeah, same feedback. I didn't hear about our Southeastern qualifier until very right before. And we didn't have a chance to compete. I don't know if I would have, even if I did know, but yeah, I don't think the marketing was really that phenomenal when it came to the qualifiers. So yeah, I'd echo some of that. Bird says, I mean, it was great. Obviously, I'd mentioned to you the spectator part of it. The vendors were great. Yeah, the spectator thing you mentioned, basically, people who weren't on main stage didn't really have like a projector set up with their play, so family who came to the event couldn't watch their players play, which is unfortunate. I think at the very least there should be some type of like TV set up with a viewer experience for those family members and friends. So yeah, I think that's good feedback. Vendors were great. Rain being there was great. I just think overall having more PCs. Yeah, having more PCs is always usually a piece of feedback for most events. But yeah, the partners who were there, they seem to have a pretty wide range of people. I know Control was there. NASEF was there. The Georgia State League was there. Microsoft CDW obviously is a big sponsor. Barbasol. It's a pretty good wide range of sponsors. Invited all these people just for them to watch from afar. Yeah, it hurts. I agree. We missed qualifiers due to that. Yep. Jay Smith didn't attend, so can only otherwise comment on socials, which they obviously prioritized and were great during the event. Yeah, I thought the messaging during the event and some of the content they were putting out was really good. Shout out to Lindsay and her team with that. I think Lindsay does social media for those events. I think they did a really good job at highlighting what was going on during the event. So, yeah, I think that was really cool. What's up, Awesome Possum? Awesome Possum. Yeah, that's right. What's up? First time chatter. Shoot. You've never been chatting in my stream before? Thanks for stopping by. Bird thinks they just tried to do too much too fast. That might be the case. They definitely was it was quite the event to take on. And probably at sometimes they didn't quite know how to go about it or have a plan, or those plans seemed to be kind of last minute. A lot of adjustments. I mean, even the title of the event when they were doing qualifiers was the National Championship, which if you're involved with the licensing side of things or know what licensing looks like none of the developers allow you to use the term National Championship. And I said that when I met CSMG back at the Southeast regional qualifiers. And one of their responses was like, we're too big to cancel or get canceled, or they're not going to cancel our event. Like, okay, whatever. But then like pretty quickly after, they had changed it to the Commissioner's Cup. And I just kind of, yeah, that's probably from the developers. Jay Smith, I hope they move that date though, between those graduating and for us finals is right after. Yeah, it was a terrible date. I mean, it's on Mother's Day, first of all. Second of all, for us, it was our commencement weekend. We had finals moving up to it. I think the date just does not make any sense to me. I think that was poorly planned. And maybe it's like the only date they could get that stadium or something. I don't know. It just, that's probably like the biggest takeaway that they need to take with this is like the date is just atrocious. You've been wanting to watch one of my talks and the stars have finally aligned. Yes. Welcome. I'm glad you could make it. Jay Smith, they definitely went into the largest a little too hard. I think I'd be less critical if they hadn't tried to hype it that hard and just play it as any other LAN event. Yeah, they definitely did like say a lot that it was the largest collegiate event, and I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. It'd be hard to beat some of the. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you describe largest. I think maybe it's true, but yeah, they definitely leaned into that, and it was probably good for advertisers for them to use that terminology and to use that to sell sponsorships. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that needs to be a competition, but whatever. Either way, I think they did a lot. They did a lot. It was pretty ambitious. Like, some of it was pretty ambitious. Bird says they've changed the name so much. It was CENC, Esports U, then CECC. I couldn't keep up. Yeah, dude, I can't keep up. CSMG just overall seems to kind of be like heading in any direction that they can. So I think it's interesting. I always talk about the licensing companies, the traditional sports licensing companies. You got Playfly, you've got Learfield, and then you got CSMG as the three that are kind of involved in collegiate esports right now. And Playfly kind of aligned with a Star League with their partnership. Learfield is doing their own thing with Level Next. And then CSMG's kind of over here like trying everything, like partnering with ECAC, partnering with NECC, doing the CECC, Esports U somehow is connected. Kind of like trying to do a lot of things to see what sticks. And yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if that's the better move or not. Kind of have your eggs in a lot of different baskets. But yeah, that's what they're doing. What was viewership like? Bird says finals were around 500 to 600, but I don't remember that. I think it was 150 to 200. I don't think I ever saw the viewership over like 250. There were about 4 streams in total. Oh, I did not know that. I only watched one stream. I had no idea that that was true. Viewership 150 to 250, probably concurrent on average for the most part, which is to be expected. It's fairly low. I think for other collegiate events in the space, it's pretty low, especially for what they were hoping to accomplish. It definitely leaves some concern for continual or sustainable viability with it, especially with the sponsors that they were working with. You kind of gotta bring the value elsewhere, communicate the value elsewhere than viewership, because viewership just, I don't think was where it should be. For a lot of the other collegiate leagues, you look at the historically black colleges and university league, and then you look at A-Star League. They get a lot of their viewers by partnering with Twitch and getting on the front page. Most of them get very large viewer spikes through that, and CECC did not seem to have that connection, and the viewership definitely hurt because of it. So yeah. Jay Smith, is there any worry they overhyped it for sponsors and didn't meet ROI and may turn off some for the future? That would be my concern, and that's my concern for like every esports event. Like, even if it's one that I'm involved with, is I've had experiences working with local groups where they think esports, they automatically think we're going to sell out an arena for like doing nothing and not investing any money. And if that hype is continued is fed upon or pushed, it can leave those groups disappointed and kind of turned off by esports. Did that event do this? Potentially. I think it really comes down to what were the expectations of those developers, I think, or those sponsors. Mainly from my perspective, the main question would be Barbasol, because they're a non-endemic brand. I think a lot of endemic brands, I think you look at CDW, Microsoft, and Doug, he knows the space. You look at Control, they know the space. You look at Skillshot, they're heavily involved in the space. Like, they know what a collegiate event is usually going to pull. It's the non-endemic brands that I get worried about. The Atlantic Falcons might be a concern there. I don't know what their ROI was supposed to look like or what they communicated. I would be very surprised if they broke even on this event. I would be way more surprised if they made money on this event. And I think the concern definitely goes to the sponsors, but it also goes to, is this event going to happen again? I don't know. We really don't know until they announce it. Want to know where they got their PCs from too. We would be very interested in renting that part of the setup. I'm not sure. I think it'd be good to ask Chris Postel. He might have supplied the PCs. Esports Foundry might have supplied the PCs. It's a possibility. PCG. I don't know who that is. Performance Computer Group? I don't know who PCG is. Oh, yeah, you can't put links in chat. Sorry. I don't allow links. Yeah, I don't know who PCG is. That would be interesting. I know there's definitely been people who are interested in the idea of renting PCs for events. I think it's a massive opportunity. Who was I talking to? I think Gravity Gaming is looking at having holding like inventory of rentable PCs in the future potentially. But yeah, I think I would have that concern, Jay Smith, with sponsors and turning sponsors off to the esports space, especially collegiate esports. It's really important to be clear on expectations. And our industry, esports in general, and then collegiate esports is very, it's infamous for overhyping and estimating what we're able to deliver, especially when it comes to like viewers. Doug at CDW, he's the new esports person. He's super involved and super approachable. I'm not sure if that's something that they do or not, but he's a great guy. Feel free. You should reach out to him if you need to. Overall, I think it was pretty positive. I think CECC was fairly positive experience for everyone. I didn't unfortunately make it. But it seemed like most people enjoyed it, so that's a win. I think any LAN experience is usually a positive, especially for students. So yeah, that's kind of it. They kind of wrapped it up. I didn't get any announcements for future stuff. It'll be interesting. We'll kind of pay attention to their Twitter, see what they're gonna do next. I don't know if they're gonna keep going. What events will you being at? I will be at DreamHack Dallas. I will be on the photography team for DreamHack, and that is also where CRL Worlds is going to be, which I'm really stoked about. What other events will I be at? I think that might be it. Let's look. DreamHack. EGF. EGF is hosting high school Overwatch championships, or just high school championships in Orlando, June 16th. I am planning on going to that as well, because it's in Orlando, and my brother's team is going. Yes, it's at Disney World. That is correct. It's at Disney World. My brother's high school team will be competing in it. I'm really excited. It's on family vacation. Boo! And then I will be traveling for like family related stuff, weddings, and then NACE convention July 20th to the 22nd that I'm really excited about. And then we get into the fall. So yeah, not a ton of stuff I'm traveling for. I kind of slow. I feel like it was going to be a lot, but not as many. But you should definitely go to I'm still waiting to hear details on some of that EGF stuff, but you should go. I think it is open to the public. I don't know if they've even announced it actually, or if they've even announced if it's public or not. EGF. I haven't seen any info about it. Oh, you're sending FGC the combo breaker? That's pretty cool. That's dope. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen anything from EGF. I gotta actually look on social for EGF or on their website to see what their info is. But if anyone's going to Orlando, oh yeah, National Championship, Orlando. If anyone's going to that, let me know. It'd be fun. It is the EGF High School National Championship. It should be cool. I'm excited. I don't know what it'll be like, but I'm going. So does that not have a college component to it? Is it just high school? Maybe it's just high school. Yeah, it looks like EGF League Championships are at William and Mary. Oh, that already happened. I don't know. Must be only high school. EGF Collegiate is over. Yeah, okay, so it's just high school. Interesting. Should be fun. I'm excited. NACE convention is a big one. Highly recommend thinking about going to that. I think it's going to be a really good good opportunity where all kind of the college coaches get a chance to come together and connect in Kansas City. Should be fun. I'm excited for that. All right, let's talk about ISEA launch. So what was this, yesterday or the day before? Interscholastic Esports Association, no, Interstate Scholastic Esports Alliance, the ISEA, announced their launch yesterday. What that launch means, I'm still confused or questioning. It opened their application process is what it is. More acronyms. I know, dude. Guys, I can't do acronyms. We gotta figure something out here. Or at least when we do acronyms, make it like a word. Like NACE is a word. Like I don't have to say NECE. Maybe I can just say ISEA, CECC, KEC. Nope. All right. Well, yeah, more acronyms. The membership, they basically released their membership handbook, which is basically just like a step-by-step, or like it's an explaining of different levels of how to be a member of ISEA and how to like work through their membership process and how to get kicked out. I see. Oh, I see. Okay. The IC. I don't think anyone would know what I'm talking about if I just use IC, but it is what it is. They do have a website. It looks like they updated their website since their official announcement back at NACAD, with some updated information, updated logos. 11 state orgs are kind of in this initial launch here. We've got New Jersey, Garden State, Iowa, Oklahoma. Is this Nebraska? Nebraska, Illinois, Texas, Indiana, Wisconsin, Washington, Michigan, Minnesota, and Missouri. Their philosophy is basically they're gonna, I mean, at the end of the day, the value that they're bringing is that they're going to developers and they are asking to manage scholastic licensing. I think that is for high school age and below, but they don't actually say in their handbook that they are high school and below. They just say scholastic, which had me not worried, but wondering if Collegiate is something on their radar, if not now, but maybe in the future. I don't know. That was just a weird thought I had reading through their handbook of like, are they trying to like take over all of Scholastic with Collegiate? Maybe not. Maybe not. It was just interesting that they didn't call out what age groups or opportunities they're going after. It kind of leaves open the opportunity. Jay Smith says Collegiate would be a bit much to chew off. Yes, but well, what they would do is like have collegiate groups that are already in existence come into their alliance. So like they're not actually doing anything. They're not actually like managing any of this. They're just like, hey, come be a part of our alliance. Which is interesting. I'm still a little skeptical of ISEA in general. I think what they're doing is needed in the space. I think the high school groups need to come together and do something. I guess my skepticism falls in line with like kind of the lack of their direction or what they want to do, as well as yeah, I mean it's most of like a lack of direction. Like I still don't know exactly what they want to do short term and long term. Like they talk about licensing and they talk about forming recruitment rules, but we'll see. We haven't heard any announcement related to either of those, so still a little skeptical. What up, ABXY? Yeah. I am very familiar with most of the leaders of this group and familiar with the state orgs. And everyone's kind of got their own priorities. And it'll be interesting to watch to see whose priorities get to be first and how individuals' priorities shape the direction of the entire organization. And I think that's a big question. And it's interesting because from what I can tell from the outside, I don't know any inside details. I'm not involved, but the president or the leader of the organization has changed like 3 times since March. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And I just have not necessarily concerns, but questions, and cautious optimism is where I'd put that. The leader is now Allison. I think. Maybe not. Isn't it Allie? Do fun till I let go. I gotta double check this so I don't get it wrong. It's Aline. I think she goes by Allie, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm so bad at names. She founded Iowa's state league. That is who's in charge now. Danielle from Texas was in March when they first announced it. Yeah, I really hope it works out. I hope it keeps continuing to grow. I think it's a good opportunity for the Scholastic space. But it also, like, the long-term sustainability question with the organization also relies on publishers' willingness to work with them. And they say that is happening. At least some of the publishers are willing to do that, but we haven't seen it from a public standpoint. We haven't seen any announcements. So we don't really have a ton to go off of. But yeah. I think you may be confusing who is leading the development versus who is elected and appointed. To my understanding, Danielle was elected prior to the March meeting at NACAD. But maybe you're right. Maybe they did a leader before to handle the development, and then they elected a leader after. yeah, that was just I don't know. Maybe I'm off there. But yeah, Danielle was definitely introduced as the leader of the organization when they announced it at NACAD in March. So hopefully things are going great. Hopefully we're on the right track, and hopefully it'll be successful. I know there's some conversations about the collegiate recruiting thing right now happening. Where it'll go and how it'll be implemented, we'll see. We'll see. But I think everyone's heart's in the right place at the end of the day. There's just some questions. I mean, I think with anything, especially in our industry, there's a lot of ifs, and kind of just do it and hope and try to succeed with it. I don't know. Any other people who have thoughts on ISEA at this point? They have a pretty wide range of influence at this point when it comes to the state nonprofits that are involved. I don't know. I'm not gonna bring that up because I don't know if it's true or not. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at with ISEA at this point. I wish there's a little bit more content with their quote unquote official launch, more than just the membership guidelines or like instructions. I don't want to call it a handbook. I think they call it a membership handbook. I don't think it's a membership handbook. I think it's a guide to becoming a member. Because there's not really outlines of like bylaws. There's not outlines of rules of how, what you need to do. Like there are some, it just, it seems more of like, this is how you progress through their membership funnel, which is, I mean, it's important. It gets folks started. I mean, I'd be interested to know how many people have applied or organizations have applied. Out of curiosity, how do you compare ISEA's launch with Voice? Voice, as far as content is concerned, I think they're about the same. Although ISEA came out with more. Like the Voice hasn't technically launched. Voice made an announcement of their platform, similar to like ISEA's launch back in March, in terms of like, hey, we're doing this. They have not. Voice should be announcing something soon. What still is Voice? From my understanding, is Voice is still planning on. They're still around. They just haven't announced anything yet. I think there's some members of their board that they're trying to get approval for a lot of things from their members of the board. Is my understanding. They haven't said anything lately. Their Discord's dead. But it's still out there. They have not put out any announcements since that announcement, to my knowledge. They've definitely been, I mean, from my understanding, they've been acting behind the scenes. I've had a couple of them reach out, and I've talked to a couple of their members of the board. They're still active behind the scenes. As for like the launch, I would say that Voice hasn't technically launched yet, so it's unfair to compare the two. But as from like their announcement standpoint, I think ISEA's announcement doing it at NACAD in person was really strong. But they didn't have a lot of information out there for people to be skeptical of, whereas Voice had like a full website of like FAQs and like what they thought they were going to be doing, even though it was vague. So I don't know. I think both of them lacked a lot of potential with their launches. But I don't know what the right way is either. I can sit here and criticize and looking back on things, be hypercritical, but I don't know if I know the exact answer. I think it's got to be, in the current space, it's got to be some type of grassroots or get with the people to make those types of announcements. And I think ISEA did that really well at NACAD with their announcement. Jay Smith, back to ISEA. They talk about having scholastic licenses. Do you know what they have? I do not know what they have, all I've been told is at NACAD they said that there was a developer, I think it was a developer or at least one developer, who is very interested in having them own the Scholastic licensing for a game title or their game titles, and to manage giving that license out. Going off of that information, you can guess that there's only a couple developers who have esports titles that might be willing to do that or open to the idea. And I think, and it's either high res or which is kind of a long shot because not many people do high res stuff, or Epic Games. And Epic Games might be willing to do that, since separating from Play Versus, and trying something different. Riot, I don't think would ever do that. Even though Garden State, Chris Aviles is on the RSAA board, I just don't think Riot would do that. I don't think Activision Blizzard would do that. We just saw that Play Versus has an exclusive deal with them, same with Nintendo. So we're running out of options of what developer that could be. So my best guess is either Hi-Rez or Epic. I'm leaning towards Epic, and that would be the better outcome for ISEA and the more value that they could have and bring. But I don't know. I wouldn't hedge money on that. So I don't know. They seemed very positive at NACAD about this idea of owning the Scholastic license and then doling it out. So their whole application process is to become a member of ISEA, and then you can you can apply for the licensing that ISEA owns to run your own competition, which is similar to how NASEF was doing League of Legends and Overwatch licensing back when they had affiliate states, where the affiliate states who are now in the ISEA would use NASEF to get the license for Overwatch and then run their own state leagues. It's something similar to that. Generic Typist says, total side note about Riot, but did you just see Riot Games sue Moonton for Mobile Legends Bang Bang, ripping off LoL and Wild Rift? I did not see that. That's interesting. Jay Smith says maybe they magically got Nintendo on board. I would say that's highly unlikely. I think from my understanding is Nintendo is starting to get around to the idea of supporting Scholastic Esports, but they seemed pretty, we just found out they're with Play Versus, and that was a pretty recent deal to my knowledge. So I'd be very surprised if they were already looking to jump to a different group. Squirtus says, isn't Play Versus for sale, so potentially more will be available if it doesn't sell and fold? Yeah, technically, from what we've been told, Play Versus is trying to sell. More will be available if it doesn't sell and fold. I don't know if Play Versus will fold. They'll just bleed money until it's valued so low that someone would be willing to buy it. So I don't think more would be available in the short term. I think it takes a couple years for a company to lose those types of partnerships, especially if they're paying or not paying, and just have those relationships going. I don't think that's in 1 year they just rip up their deals with Play Versus. I don't see that happening. So maybe in the future more will be available, and maybe those developers would be more willing to work with ISEA and other groups. But the quick turnaround that ISEA was talking about and kind of alluding to would not suggest that it was one of Play Versus exclusive partners. That's kind of where I'm at with that. So if I was a betting man, it'd be either Hi-Rez or Epic. Those would be my two guesses. If I had to pick one, I would guess I would honestly lean towards Hi-Rez, but I don't know. I don't really know. Just because Epic has some of the structure in-house already when it comes to hosting competition regularly. But they don't have nearly as much infrastructure built out as some of the other developers when it comes to Scholastic Esports. So, yeah. I assume that if whatever deal they have comes out, we'll find out that it was either Epic or High Res. If anyone has a different thought or a different guess, you throw it out there. But those are my two. Oh my gosh. A-Barn and League Spot putting out another tweet to talk about. Oh boy. Did you guys see League Spot's tweet last week about like small schools getting the same schools getting all the love and like small schools not getting any esports stuff? And my tweet being, I actually think it's the opposite. You're wrong. Felt kind of bad. That was a fun one. I love those types of spicy opportunities for dialogue. Felt bad for that social media person. Yeah, hopefully it wasn't like an intern who's like, oh my gosh, all of Collegiate Esports is bashing me right now. And hopefully it was like, I don't know, but yeah, felt a little bad because like calling out their tweet. I don't know. You don't think League Spot knew what they were talking about? I think I understand the sentiment, but they're trying to say like Bay State, Maryville, and Northwood get all the love, and everyone else doesn't. But the wording they used did not follow through with that. So, yeah. You didn't read it that way? Yeah, I think especially the folks in the D1 schools probably didn't read it that way. I assume that was the sentiment, but yeah, it didn't come off that way. It's true. You must have missed the tweet. Yeah, you must have. I don't know when it was, but it sparked some conversation. Just needed some wordsmithing. Yeah, I agree. I think the positive was that like nobody was attacking League Spot for it. It created engagement, which is their goal. I mean, they want engagement, so I would agree with that. What else has gone on in Scholastic Esports lately? If you guys haven't joined the Discord, highly recommend it. We're going through it. We're collecting some information, putting it in there. I'll put my Discord here if you guys wanted to join in the community Discord we got going on. I've been posting some the job internship stuff, some of my resources that I've kind of put together, like the coach director salary database that I've got going. I've also got like the sample budget that I had. We had a couple jobs get posted. The Michigan State job we talked about a couple weeks is probably, I think they just wrapped up taking applications. Hiring, it was last week. Yes, it was. I know. I'm sorry. Another Discord. I know. I'm sorry. The thought behind my Discord was to have a place where I can share those resources. People can talk that wasn't owned by one of the companies in the space. And can't be monitored or moderated by those companies. So no one is safe in Adam's Discord, including Adam. So that is an option. Feel free to join if you want. MSI content production intern. Okay, sounds dope. I think Michigan State just ended theirs. I know a lot of people applied for Michigan State. I'm interested to see how that goes. 2 NACE jobs are supposed to be posted tonight. I could not find the link. They're looking for a marketing coordinator whose salary, because the salary is actually going to be posted in the job posting, which is awesome. Marketing coordinator is going to be 47 to 56. And then they're going to be hiring basically the second highest person in the office for NACE. It'll be a director of operations, and that's going to be 60 to 75. Both of them in Kansas City. Not required to be in person, but I think they're going to be favoring in person, I'm assuming. But those are 2 opportunities as well. Conestoga College in Ontario. I know some of my Canadian folks are really excited about that job being posted. They're kind of interested, skeptical, want to see what's going on there. So a couple people are applying for that. Shenandoah University is hiring their coordinator of esports competition. If you know Joey Gariziak, he's the chair of the board of directors for NACE. He's an amazing person. He does not oversee competition. Well, he does, but he's not the day-to-day person. They have basically a head of competition underneath him. And the last one, Zach just stepped down. So they're hiring a new person. If you want to get into esports and learn from one of the best, especially on the academic side, Shenandoah, I believe their salary posted is $45,000, which isn't bad, but definitely starter salary vibes. Yes, NACE will be in Kansas City. That is where they're headquartered. It is a cool city. Haven't lived there, but I lived in St. Louis for a while. Where can you find those links? In my Discord under the Collegiate Esports PD section, jobs and internships, I have all the positions that come across my eyes with links and information posted in there. When the NACE ones go live tonight, I'll post them there. The NACE jobs just aren't live yet. But those are 2 awesome opportunities that are high paying. Shoot. Yeah, director of operations is awesome opportunity. If you're organized and can manage people, that's going to be a sweet one. Thank you everybody for who's joining the Discord. You guys are awesome. Oh my God, look at all these people. Shout out to you all. If you end up subscribing to this channel, you will get the subscriber/supporter role, and with some gold coloring. I think I have like 6 subscribers. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. But yeah, I'm not there yet, but I like looking at the details for the future for sure. Squirt says, saw someone recently post that they will have 150 plus students in their program. Curious if programs like that are mostly student ran, because we recently went down to only 4 varsity titles and the rest back to the club. I am but one person. You're talking about Ohio Northern, Troy Shafari. From my understanding is that they're a recruitment driven program. And a lot of that is recruiting new students into the school. Not all of them receive the same level of competitive opportunity as everyone. So there is like a large student club component to it. I can't speak to the positives and negatives of that situation or whatever it is. There's definitely positives and negatives, but kids are staying, to my knowledge, staying at the school and staying in the program. Retention isn't a problem, and obviously growth isn't a problem. So something's working over there. You'd have to ask Troy specifically, but my assumption is most of it is either student ran or those students aren't super heavily involved in the program day to day. There might be multiple academy teams that meet regularly or club teams, etc. Yeah. So from my perspective, I haven't heard that retention is a problem there. So, and that's really the key, especially for your big D1 schools. Retention's the big one. So it might be worth reaching out to them. But there's no way Troy is practicing with 150 kids 5 days a week. Like, that's just not feasible. He does have a GA and a assistant, or just an assistant. I'm not sure. I think at one point he had a GA. But yeah, that's a pretty big number. I know Trine University a couple of years ago was at about 110, 120 when Travis was there. I don't think it's that big anymore, but it got that big at one point. I can't imagine managing 100 kids at the level that I manage kids now, or coach kids. That's just crazy. Yeah. But I mean, you're most of those schools, like, the only goal is recruitment. Like, they don't really care about anything else. So more power to you. I think the challenge is taking those numbers and then converting them to more resources. That's often the challenge. yes, you have 150 students, but why is there only one full-time student or one full-time staff or only 2 full-time staff? It's converting those into more. It's a difficult. I hope at Co is to have a varsity and academy team for my 4 titles. For sure. Luckily, I don't currently have a number of students I need to get per year. Lucky you. Lucky you. That's good. Yeah, I currently have academy teams for League and Rocket League. I would like them for Overwatch at some point. We're just struggling to find Overwatch players that are talented, I guess, or willing to put in the time. Yeah. Faux show. Overwatch 2 will make it easier for 5v5. I hope so. First of all, one less player. Second of all, I'm hoping OW2 kind of reignites some fires in some old players. I played a little bit. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of enjoying it. I don't know if my players are still playing a lot of Overwatch 2 or if it kind of... it's an awkward time to kind of gauge some of that because a lot of my students are like just ended class 2 weeks ago and now they're just like sitting for the summer or sitting for a week or two just to relax. So it's hard to gauge if they're truly like really engaged with Overwatch 2 or not. Mega says, do you have clubs at your schools in addition to your programs or no clubs? I'm hoping to start a club at my school next fall. There's a significant population of students who are in our Discord or who play in our arena that's open to all students, but there's no organization around those students. It's more of a casual thing that they do on the side of like gaming on their own versus a club necessarily. But it's something I'm trying to start for next fall. I think when I was at Aquinas my 3rd year, before deciding to come to Florida Southern, my main goal was to start a club there too. At Co, we have a club that is both competitive and leisure. Awesome. Yeah, I think the club side of things is such an awesome way to engage more students than you currently engage, to bring a lot more value to your institution than what you currently bring. Yeah, there's just so much value to that. And if you're looking to expand titles, if you already have players competing in those titles on your campus, holy crap, makes it easier. It's just, honestly, it's difficult to find leadership, like people who are interested in leading that club. And that's where I get jealous of some of these large D1s who just have these all-star club presidents and club leadership. I'm like, can I have one of you? Like, please, like someone who has your passion and willing and drive and willingness to put in the work to be on my campus. It'd be amazing. Oh, I'm sure it is hard for you guys. For every all-star president at a D1, there are probably 20 not so all-star presidents who just kind of go through the motions. UCF has found really good solutions. That'd be interesting to hear. Yeah, hard for the D1s too. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's hard. I'm trying to, I think it's going to be a struggle to kind of create a culture around clubs that students are willing to give time and energy to continue to grow and sustain that. But I'm hoping to learn some of those potential opportunities or successes through the next year or two. We'll see. They have a leadership pipeline that is pretty robust for a club. That's cool. That's cool to hear. The other struggle for me is like I could go out and I could start a club and I could be like the director of esports is overseeing this club, and we're going to have Valorant meeting just for fun on Tuesdays. We're going to have Rocket League on Wednesdays, and here are your meeting times, and like here's your club teams. Like I could do that, but that's not what I want. Like I want it to be a student initiative that's like built by students for students, that's led by students, and it's their own thing. Like I don't want to have my hands all in it. Like I'll be as much of a support and advocate as I can, and I'm like huge cheerleader, like financial supporting, like we'll do what you need to do, but I want it to come from the students. I want it to be organic, because I think that's one of the biggest values I think when it comes to those student organizations that are really successful nationwide is it's driven by students, and those leadership opportunities that students have by doing that, I think, are huge. They're huge. Jay Smith, we always have a lot of success from the energy of the fall, but by end of spring, it slows way down. Yeah, I can see that, Mega. Yep, I find that big early semester social events help prevent that. Okay. Yeah, kind of create those friendships early on while the energy's still there, and then kind of thrive off of those friendships and those connections within the club. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. Make it a social thing. More than like a chore or a team. For our club, it ebbs and flows. This year has been very student-led. The previous two were much less. Okay. That's fair. So it's good to know that like I might have to step in and help keep the momentum going. I know there's a couple directors who've taken over competitive programs or started competitive programs at schools that had clubs, and they've really struggled with kind of creating that relationship and maintaining the momentum from the club, and like integrating varsity alongside it and keeping the momentum for both, I think has been a really big struggle, because some of those clubs expect things from the university support that don't come back, and it looks like those varsity programs are getting all the love and all the attention while the club is kind of getting pushed to the side. Yeah, I think it's a pretty common struggle from what I've kind of seen in the space. Marrying the social and the competitive is definitely the key with clubs. Yeah, I you're probably 100% right. I just have very little knowledge on how to do that, or what works, what doesn't. Yeah, and it's going to be different by school too, and by size. I mean, if you're talking like a big school like Ohio State's club who has like 1,000 students in their Discord and they're trying to engage 1,000 students, is going to be completely different than like the 50 students that I have that casually play in the arena, or the 50 to 100 that are active-ish in the Discord. Very different, and very different events, very different approach to a lot of things. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, but I'm interested. I think it's a huge opportunity for schools is creating this club environment alongside the varsity. Yeah, watch parties are always fun. Yeah, we did a watch party for league. Unfortunately, the only people who showed up to the watch party were our varsity players, even though like we have a lot of students who play league casually in the arena. I don't think it helped that it was like at 8 a.m. this year. I should probably try watch parties that are not at 8 a.m. and yeah, it'll be interesting. Both of pro and collegiate. Oh, that is one thing I need help with. It's like collegiate watch parties or getting students to our competitive matches. Like our setup right now is like we have our players who play on like this 8-inch raised stage in front of like nice folding chairs. And I set it up like all this year, like we had it set up. I wanted to get like a full year under my belt before I really pushed anything, but now I need to figure out how to get people to come watch. Yeah, all my players are like, just buy them pizza. I'm like, okay, if it's that easy, I'm down to buy pizza. But I'm skeptical that it's going to be that easy. There are also professional development for student life people to help them learn how to grow. Clubs might consider chatting with them too. Oh, that's a good idea. Food is all it takes. Giveaways are great. It really is that easy. Okay, if you say that, all right, you get free pizza, they will come. Okay. All right, if it's that easy. I mean, my boss wants that to happen, and he's like, we'll buy them pizza. Let's just get people to come out and get people excited. Students always love that. That's fair. How much free pizza can sustain excitement around coming to esports matches? Do you think it ever runs out? Promise free pizza doesn't equal attendance. Oh no. Void, the first time chatter, coming in and ruining our parade. Uconnect has been big help for those types of events. Oh yeah? Oh, I'll have to reach out to Dylan. Best thing for students would be free stuff like t-shirts and merch. Okay, we're doing free stuff. All right. Pizza, t-shirts. Fair. I think we need to come up with lists of like cool stuff to give away that's like as cheap as a t-shirt, but like cool. Like cool for esports and gamers. Like flash drives are a little old. We can't do flash drives anymore, but what else could we do? Mouse pads. Mouse pads are okay. We had some small mouse pads, but like for me and for most players, they use massive mouse pads, and those are expensive. Cowbells, okay. Void's one of your players. Okay, so maybe we're seeing a difference. So the D1s say pizza's enough, but the small private school says pizza isn't enough. So maybe there's a difference here. Stickers are good. Doc Haskell at Boise got me on the Sticker Mule train. If you sign up on Sticker Mule, they'll send you like these outrageous deals of like $7 for 50 stickers. And I know he used to. I don't know if he still does anymore, but he'll buy all of the every time there's a big deal like that, he'll just buy a new one. So he has just a ton of stickers. Only you'd want a cowbell. Okay. Free game keys. That's cool. Are there places you can buy game keys? Like print out game keys? Because you can buy like mystery packs of game keys, or you can just buy a game key. But they run a deal every 3 months. There you go. Sticker Mule. Sticker Mule is a big one. This song is so good. That was a lot. Cool. Well, we talked about CECC. We talked about ISEA. We even talked about helping to get momentum about a student club on campus, which is your bonus material or bonus section of the week. Look at that. You got a free giveaway in this stream. But I'm going to wrap up. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. We had some good conversation. Thank you, everybody who stopped by. Jay Smith, Mega, Radiating Sugar, Void, first time chatter. Squirt was in here for a while from College. Slans is lurking. Coach Bird was in here earlier, probably pieced out. And then we've got obviously Warhood and Llewellyn, who came in at like the very beginning and then probably dipped. But I appreciate all of you. Last message here. Void says, "Respect me. Thank you for the follow earlier. Thanks for your content. I'm glad you enjoyed it." I am actually surprised that you're not a bot. I don't know. I just assume like half of my follows are just bots, but maybe that's not the right assumption. Been watching for information. I'm glad you watched. I upload this to YouTube usually the next day. I used to edit these into small sections, but I have gotten lazy, and I don't have enough money to pay someone to edit them, which is unfortunate. But the full episodes are available on YouTube. Feel free to jump around if you want to use them. Void says a tier giveaway would bring people in, have them collect points. Oh, that'd be interesting. Like a semester long thing where you like stamp a card, and if you come to 10 esports matches, you get a free t-shirt, jersey, whatever. You see my Aquinas jersey? Okay. Yeah, I've got this Aquinas jersey kind of framed. This is like a $20 poster frame, just like the ones up above that I just like squashed a jersey into. What I need to do is buy an actual jersey frame off Amazon. They're like $70. Oh, chairs. God, I'm not giving away chairs. These things are expensive. YouTube is where I've started. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you found your way over here for the live stuff. Thank you for the follow, Void. I appreciate you. We all need chairs. I need a chair. This chair is like a $100, maybe $300 thing off Amazon. I got it during COVID, and it's not quite cutting it. I've bent some metal pieces that I don't think are supposed to be bent. Yeah. Win one at NACE? Yeah, you can win a chair at NACE. That is a big prize, but it's like a chair is something like you have one prize giveaway. Like you can't just do like a come to 10 esports events. It would have to be like a raffle. You did. Radiating Sugar won chair. Radiating Sugar, if you guys don't know, is Danielle over at Lawrence Tech. She's awesome. We Spect, thank you again for stopping by. Mega just stepped down as the Florida State president. Gonna be mentoring the next generation. Really excited. Cabot stopping by. Oh my gosh, Cabot, one of my players, Rocket League player. I'm out for today. Thank you for the stream. Absolutely. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I will talk to you all next week. Feel free to join the Discord, talk, whatever, ask me questions, or just reach out. I'm always willing to chat. I appreciate all of you. Have a good rest of the week. Peace.